Okay, pal, you want smash mouth power and efficiency? Then here's your starting lineup. Ford F-Series, #1 for 37 years straight. Talk about a dynasty, baby. Hey, it's game time, sports fans, at the Bill Ford Tough Sales Event.
And good afternoon, everyone, from the lobby of Bruner Motors on the corner of the South Loop and Lillian Street in Stephenville. Make sure you stop by. We'll be here until 12:30. Plenty of free food courtesy of the pizza place. We have refreshments, and later in the half hour we'll have the life-size Dyson. We will roll for prizes, including a car wash and an oil change courtesy of Bruner Motors. The Coach Lonn Reisman radio show is sponsored by the Bruner Auto family, so we thank them for their support in making the show possible. Coach, for the first time in school history, you win back-to-back games on the road against top 25 opponents. Kind of hard to believe, isn't it?
Okay, Casey, the two places we went into the last two times, over at Commerce and then over at Midwestern are, two of the toughest places to play on the road. There's no doubt about it. They both have great basketball tradition and history, and they both had tremendous crowds. And, it's something that if you're going to be a good basketball team, you got to go in and you got to play your very best at the end of, at this time of the year. And it was just, I'm very proud of our kids. They went in there. They were both very, very tough contests, and both opponents that we played against just played tremendously. And I can't say enough about our kids down the stretch. They were able to pull both games out and win two big road games that we're very proud of what we've done and achieved up to this point.
And let's start by recapping those games. We'll begin with Commerce on Saturday. The Lions in that game were the number 25 ranked team in the nation, 15-4 at the time. They won 14 straight at the Fieldhouse. You win 77-73. Mo Lee told me after the game this was a signature road game. Why is that?
Well, we've been on the road this year, and we won some great games in Vegas against Drury and Western Washington, which we feel like were just two very, very outstanding basketball programs. Both had won national championships. But, we wanted to go on the road in our conference and win a signature road game. And when you talk about, Commerce being 15-4 and having one of the best years they've had since 2005, and they had won 14 straight games in a row, we wanted to see if we could actually go into an environment in a hostile crowd like they had, and they had a great crowd over there on Saturday, and could we win a game on the road against a team that's 15-4 and 14 straight games at home won, and that would be a signature road win to show that, have we come that far with our team? Because you and I have talked about we're looking to peak at the right time.
And last year you lost at Commerce. One of your three losses. Was that a little extra motivation for some of the guys?
Well, I think that the seniors wanted to go in there and knowing that their last time at Commerce, they wanted to come out with a win. And we're getting some really good senior leadership right now, and I think we are. Coach Chris and I have talked about that, and Marlon, I think we're getting some really good senior leadership from all of our seniors, and I think it's so important that our seniors are our leaders, and I can't just give you one leader right now. I'm proud of all of our senior leaders. You got Damian Clemens and Devin Carter and Mo Lee and Tayshawn Mabry. Our seniors are starting to step up and say, hey, this is what we want to do, this is what we want to accomplish. They're holding people accountable, and that's, for the first time I'm seeing that. And I think that's one of the reasons right now that we're starting to move in a positive direction.
Texas A&M Commerce entered that game 8th in the nation, Coach, a +9 rebounding margin. They lead the nation in defensive rebounding. You out-rebounded them 35-25. How key was that?
Well, you have to do, there's no doubt about it, especially when you're on the road, not only at home, but you've got to rebound the basketball. And it's been something that we have been deficient in this year. And I think in our last few games, you've started to see us take a bigger step towards being a better basketball team because of our rebounding. And we've challenged not only, the one thing we did the other night, we have challenged our guards to rebound. Our bigs are not huge. I mean, people think, well, you're 6'7", 230 pounds, and you're 6'6", and 215 pounds. That's not big. And so we have challenged our guards who are big. Our wings are 6'4", 6'5", and they're very athletic. And we have challenged our wings and our guards to go in there and use their athletic ability and scrap and rebound. And if you noticed against Commerce, and if you've noticed against Midwestern, our guards have taken the challenge on. And as long as they rebound like they've been the last few games, we're going to have an opportunity to be a better rebounding basketball team.
And looking at a little nugget from Nathan Burrell in the Athletic Communications Department, E.J. Reed, since he entered the starting lineup, you went from a +3.8 rebounding margin to a +9.2. And obviously that rotation with Carter and Clemens playing together is really paying off, it seems to me.
Well, and I think there's a lot of things there. You bring in Damian's playing at a very high level right now. And it only seems, and I hope it continues, because he always seems to be this time of the year, we get the best out of him. And I don't know what it is, but he just peaks at the right time himself. Carter comes in with him. They got great chemistry. They played together for 4 years, so they know each other inside and outside. And putting EJ in there, kind of, if he can hit a shot or two, it kind of gets him going, and it gets we can really stretch the defense when he's in there too. And so we just looked for a little bit of different chemistry, and it's working right now. And what I like about our team is it doesn't matter who starts. Not, Coach Chris said this after the game the other night. We're sharing the ball. It doesn't matter who scores. We are passing it. We're looking for the open man, and we're playing together. And when you can find a team that's going to play together, they bought in. They're going to play. They're playing to win and not playing individualistic. Then that's what you saw at Midwestern the other night. That's what you saw at Commerce, and we're starting to buy in with each other.
With the 4-point win over Commerce, Tarleton improved to 18-2 overall, 5-2 in the conference, winning the first ever matchup between the two schools with each program ranked in the top 25. Then on Wednesday night, Coach, you go to Wichita Falls. You take on the number 23 ranked Mustangs. They're 17-4 overall. Earlier this season, you lost at home to them by 2. How motivated were the guys to return the favor on the road?
Well, it's always a big rivalry, Casey. There's no doubt about Midwestern and Tarleton. It's just going to go down to the wire. And I'll say a lot for Midwestern. They had a tremendous crowd there that night. I started looking early, and Coach Chris said, "Just wait a minute, it'll fill up." And and believe me, it filled up. And they had a tremendous crowd at Midwestern, and it was a big game for both of us because, again, they want to sweep us, and we've got some way we've got to get that home loss back. And if we're going to compete and stay in this conference race and do the things that we want to do, and so it was a big game for us.
Sure.
And I thought that Commerce gave us momentum going in there. And we just know that we've got to do some things that are, we have to rebound against them, and we have to play great defense against them. I thought our game plan was really executed pretty well that night. You're seeing us do some things that I typically don't do. But I got a young staff of basketball coaches that are trying to get the old out of me and bring the new into me. And so,
that's got to be tough.
It's been tough on them because I'm kind of setting my ways.
Need to get you a new phone, by the way, iPhone.
I know, and I'm setting my ways, and I got a basketball staff that just grinds on me.
But you need that balance.
I want to double team this, and I want to rotate out and double team that, and I want to do this, and they are doing a great job. And you know what? The game plan Chris put together, and it was a great game plan. And we double teamed their post, as you know. He was frustrated. We rotated out of it. We played some 2-3 zone. We're trapping out of it. We're doing some things that people are not accustomed to us doing, Casey. And it's making us a better basketball team. It's keeping our kids enthused. It's making us more aggressive. And I'm really pleased to see the way our team is adapting to some of the new ideas that we have, and I think a lot of that, it's made us an enthusiastic team, and I like what we're doing right now, and I hope we can continue to do it because we're making people even prepare harder against us.
Speaking of game planning, Bretson McNeil really hurt you in the first game, 24 points, third leading scorer in the conference. He got 4 fouls, and he only played, I think, 11 minutes in this game, Coach. Was that part of the game plan? Because Angelo did that to him as well.
Part of the game plan is Nosa Ebanwani, or whatever. I can't even pronounce his last name.
Ebanwani.
Okay, whatever.
I'm
still working on it.
Kind of rolls off the tongue when you do that.
When you take a freshman and you put him on one of the premier players in this league, and he absolutely did a tremendous job on a tremendous great player at Midwestern. I can't say enough about where this young man is, what we would do if we hadn't recruited a freshman, and whoever thought a freshman could play at this level and play at the level he's playing at. It's just been he's a tremendous student athlete. He's a tremendous young man, and he is just going to develop into a premier player one day in this league. And I can't say enough about Nosa. He has just done a tremendous job, and he's taken the challenge on. He absorbs, he focuses, and he did a great job on him.
He led the team in rebounding with 7 in the win, Coach. And one other nugget on that game: who's coaching the free throws for Tarleton State? You're 27 of 30 from the line. Midwestern's 4 of 15. That's the difference in the game. Well, is it Chris or Marlon or TD or who's? Are you going to take the credit?
I'd like to take credit for it, but I can't because everybody here knows that I'm lying. Then you know that.
But the buck stops on your desk, so But it was a huge key.
It was a huge key. I think Greg Bruner might be coaching the free throws for all I know. I think we've kind of brought him down as a secret weapon.
Secret.
Yeah.
He
doesn't want to admit it, but
good job, Greg.
Nice job, Greg.
Hey, it is the BrunerAuto.com free throws on the broadcast.
Maybe that's what.
And you got your money's worth. 30 of them at Midwestern. My goodness.
Maybe that's the secret. Why he didn't do that years ago, I don't know.
With the win, Tarleton State, if I can get back on track here, with the 58-53 win, the number 12 ranked team in the nation, Tarleton State improves to 19-2 overall, 6-2 in the conference. We'll take a 1-minute break. When we return, we will talk with Damian Clemens when the Coach Lonn Reisman radio show continues right after this. It's time for this week's Tarleton Player Spotlight. Our guest today has appeared in a team-high 103 games for the Purple and White, 436 points, 384 rebounds, 73 blocks. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a hand for the senior out of Dallas Conrad High School, Damian Clemens. Damian, how are you?
I'm good, Coach. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. Just Friday, man. TGIF. So, getting ready for Cameron, just like you are getting ready for Cameron.
Always.
So your scouting report's a little more in depth than mine, and we'll get to that shortly. But before we talk about Cameron, let's talk about over the past week what you've done. You go to Commerce and win over a top 25 team, and then Midwestern. What does that say about this group of guys to be able to do that on the road?
I think we work extremely hard, and I think we highly competitive, and we always want to go anywhere and win, no matter where we play at.
Is it easier to focus on the road? Because now you're not a Dallas Cowboys fan, are you?
Not at all.
Boo! Everybody should be booing right now. He's from Dallas. I figured I'm from Arlington. I'm a big but the Cowboys were the only undefeated team in the NFL on the road this year, and I know I heard DeMarco Murray or someone say it's easier to focus on the road because you don't have distractions. Do you feel that way? Is it easier to focus when you're on the road versus at Wisdom? And you can disagree with me. That's fine.
I wouldn't say easier, but maybe at home, you got your friends and everybody watching and see what you do. And for me, when I'm on the road, I just feel like it's me and my team out there, like nobody else is with us. So you kind of come together more. So
you played a big role, Damian, in the win at Midwestern State 2 nights ago. You had six blocks. I'm trying to give you 6 blocks. You had 6 points. It'd be nice to have 6 blocks. You had 6 points, 6 boards, and a team-high 3 blocks. You played a season-high 31 minutes. Were you surprised to see that many minutes in that game?
I actually was. I didn't realize I played that much, but
Carter got in a little foul trouble.
He's been fouling a lot lately.
Have you told him that?
Yeah, I actually have.
Now let's talk a little bit about Carter because he's coming off the bench and y'all are playing together a lot. So it's EJ and Tayshawn and you and Carter come off the bench. And anytime I see you walking around, Carter's always with you. How close are you guys?
Oh, that's my brother, for real. We've been here. We came in together. I actually played with Devin on an AAU team before we got here. So I've been knowing Devin for a while now. But yeah, that's my brother. Like, blood wouldn't make us any closer.
Did you know that he was coming to Tarleton? Did y'all talk when y'all were in high school about coming to Tarleton, or was it just coincidence?
Not at all, just coincidence.
Showed up and you saw Carter here and said, "Hey,
yeah,
this
I
could
knew
be
somebody."
fun." Now, speaking of Carter, he's a finalist for that Dark Horse Dunker. I don't know if y'all know this, but we can send Davinae Carter to Indianapolis for the Division I Final Four to compete on ESPN in the slam dunk contest. How big would that be for Carter and the Texans to have him on TV for that dunk contest? And would he win?
Honestly, I don't know, Casey. He can go, but we watched a couple videos of the guys that's going to be in.
I hope he's not listening today.
It'll be tough, but I think he can compete, and I really like to see him go, and I know he would love the opportunity to go as well. So everybody go vote for Carter.
Yeah, that's like hashtag vote for Carter. You can vote at darkhorsedunker.com starting on the 11th. Have your cousin, sister, brother, aunt, everybody vote for Davinae Carter. It'd be neat to turn on ESPN and see Tarleton State represented in that contest. Now, on another note, let's talk a little bit about rebounding, because it's no surprise that team was struggling a bit the first time with Midwestern and Angelo on the boards. You're rebounding at a much higher level. What's been the difference in your mind?
Coach Chris told us we needed to change our approach, and that's kind of what we did. We might have got a foul or two for it the other night, but it paid off in the end. So.
What's it been like? What's this experience been like at Tarleton? You come from Dallas, and one of the questions I was going to ask you is, obviously this is a much smaller town than Dallas. What's been some of the positives of being in Stevensville versus the big city for you? I'm really putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, I guess
everybody always says, well, there's less to do here, there's less restaurants, but
traffic.
Less traffic.
No traffic at all.
Good people too.
Yeah,
like this whole crowd here.
It's great people here at Tarleton. I enjoy the environment really, and it's a piece about being here.
What are you majoring in? Kinesiology?
Right.
Okay. And if you don't play pro ball, I hope you do. If you don't, what's your career goal? What's your dream? What's Damian Clemens' dream job?
Casey, I would actually like to go back to my old high school and coach 9th grade basketball, because not a lot of people know about my high school, and I just want to go back and give back to that.
That's awesome, and it's a good point because I'm from that area, and I couldn't tell you where is Conrad High School?
It's in North Dallas area. It's right by North Park Mall. If a lot of
Yeah, I know right where North Park. And were you a Mavericks fan, girl? What's your favorite sports team?
Never liked the Mavericks.
Bulls?
No.
You got a Chicago Bulls hat on.
Well,
So you don't like the Cowboys or the Mavericks?
Not at all.
What's your favorite pro sports team?
New York Giants.
New York Giants. Okay, I thought you were going to say New York Yankees to try to get more playing time because you know the big man. You know the big man over here is a New York Yankee. All right, final question, Damon. Running short on time here, but how deep of a run do you feel like this team can make down the stretch if you keep playing the way you're playing?
I feel like we can go as far as we want to go. As long as we stay focused and keep playing at a high level, I think that we could go far.
I'll throw another one in here. What's your favorite, the best moment you've had? You've been here 4 years. You're the only you and Carter, the only two 4-year seniors. What's your biggest moment thus far as a Texan that kind of sticks out in your mind?
I say back-to-back conference tournament championships.
It's pretty fun to celebrate on the court there in Allen.
And actually, since I've been here, I've been to all 3 tournament championships.
Yeah, and you've been to the NCAA tournament every year. Not to brag or anything, but they've done pretty good with Damian Clemens.
You can throw it out there.
Let's give Damian a big round of applause. Great career at Tarleton State. Always a lot of fun to talk. Appreciate it. That is Damian Clemens. We're back in 1 minute. Coach Reisman will rejoin the broadcast, and we'll preview the matchup with Cameron when the Coach Lonn Reisman radio show continues right after this. Coach, before we preview the games with Cameron and Angelo State, let's take a look around the Lone Star Conference. On Wednesday night, there was 4 games. Eastern New Mexico getting blown out by Kingsville, 83-52, and Coach Estelle's really got those guys playing at a high level.
Well, and they're very hard to beat in Kingsville, Casey. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, Eastern is struggling right now, but they've got one of their better players back in Domingo, and I still think that somewhere on their home floor, they're going to find an upset win for themselves this year. And their kids are playing hard, and you know we're going to play them in a couple of weeks. You can't take anybody for granted.
Oh, it's going to be a tough game down in Kingsville. Commerce over Cameron, 76-71. Tarleton, of course, over Midwestern State, 58-53, and then Angelo State over West Texas A&M, 77-68. Want to talk a little bit about this game. Very close till the end, and West Texas really gave them a scare.
You know, West Texas is a team that can really shoot and put points on the board, Casey. And you know, it's going to be a very difficult game to even go out to West Texas. I think they played Angelo very tough. It was right down to the last 5 minutes of the game.
Sure was.
And it just showed you that their team is improving also. I think you see a lot of gap, a lot of point spreads early in the season, and you're starting to see those things squeeze. You saw that one squeeze over at Angelo. You saw the A&M Commerce game. A&M Commerce beat Cameron by 33 points the first time they played.
And it was won by 6 the other night.
5 points the other night. You're seeing teams that are getting better and squeezing the scores, and so I think it's going to be. You're into the second half of the conference season. You're going to see things really get tight.
There's 4 games on Saturday. One quick game I want to talk about: Midwestern State at Texas A&M Commerce. Coach, the Lions are not going to want to lose 2 in a row on their home court. Should be a great game there.
It should be a great game. I think this is, it's going to be a tough game for both teams. And both teams have outstanding basketball programs. And it's just I can't even predict how that game will
go either way.
It's just both well coached. They both have outstanding players. And that just shows you how tough this conference is this year.
Taking a look at the Lone Star Conference standings very quickly. Angelo State 2 games ahead of everyone at 8-0. Every team's played 8 games. There's 6 games remaining in the conference for each team. Tarleton and Midwestern 2 games back from Angelo at 6-2. Texas A&M Commerce in 4th place at 5-3. 5th place West Texas A&M at 3-5. Cameron is in 6th place at 2-6, actually tied with Kingsville for 6th place at 2-6. And then Eastern New Mexico in 8th place in the conference with no wins and 8 losses. The NABC Top 25 poll came out on Tuesday. Tarleton State for the 2nd consecutive week, number 12 in the nation. How about this, folks? 6 out of the top 13 teams in the nation come from the South Central region. And I know we're beating the dead horse each week, but that's an unbelievable statistic.
Okay, there's just some great teams in this league. There's no doubt about it. And there's been players that have been in this league. Like, I talk about Damian Clemens and I talk about Devin Carter. And we didn't even say anything about Mercedes Lane that's been with me for 4 years also. And you look at our seniors, you're looking at Devin Carter and Damian Clemens that are going to graduate. I mean, they're going to graduate in May in 4 years here. And we talk about our core values at Tarleton State University. those young men, they exemplify the core values at Tarleton State, and even the young men that don't get to play as much. Mercedes, who's going to graduate, and you look at Tayshawn, who has an opportunity to graduate. They're going to go on and be successful people, and that's why when you see a young man like Damian Clemens come here, or you see a Devin Carter come here, the type of people that you want to represent Tarleton when they leave and they go out into the world.
And kind of dropped the ball on this, but it was Damian Clemens' birthday yesterday, so happy late birthday to Clemens. So forgot to tell him happy birthday, and he's on the way back to the gym. But South Central region, Coach, I've said it all along. I'm going to predict that a 6 or 7 loss team is going to miss the tournament.
Could. I mean,
it's that tough.
There could be a team this year that wins 20 games and does not make the NCAA tournament, because you got to remember the 8th team is going to, that 8th spot is, no one knows what's going to happen at 8th spot. There's some automatic qualifiers in the conference tournament. So that's why we're so focused on one. People keep saying, well, what are you going to do here? What's going to happen here? I don't think about what's going to happen next week. All we're thinking about right now is Cameron University. No looking ahead. We just focus right on that game at hand, because the league is too hard, too tough. This region is just loaded with great basketball teams, and so it's like Damian said, keep improving. We just want to keep playing as hard as we can. We just want to keep focused, and let's see where this season ends up.
It's the Cameron Aggies on Saturday night at Wisdom Gym, 7 o'clock tip-off. Coach Gammett's squad, 10-10 overall, 6th place in the conference. They've lost 3 straight, but if you look at those losses, they played teams very tough.
I have a lot of respect for Cameron University, and I have a lot of respect for their fans. They are always a very competitive team. Let's think about it. We lost at home 2 years ago against Cameron University. I always remind ourselves that don't look at records, and their record is they're 10-10. They've won 10 good solid basketball teams. But if you look at down here, they've lost a game by 3. They've lost a game by 7. They've lost a game by 5. That's how close that their season is to being not 10-10, but 13-7. And so, again, we have a lot of respect. We know they're going to come in here and give us a heck of a game tomorrow night, and we got to be totally focused in on Cameron.
Yeah, you look at their stat sheet. One thing they do is they shoot the ball very well. 50% on the season is in the top 15 in the nation. Yeah. So they average 80 points per game. So defensively, they really pose a lot of problems.
So they shoot 50% from the floor. They shoot almost 40% from 3. And they're a very good free throw shooting team at almost at 71%. So they offensively they're very tough, and they have some good athletic young men on the floor. So I look again. I know how tough it's going to be, and we're going to be well prepared, and we're going to have to go out and execute the preparation for the game.
It's the Cameron Aggies and the Tarleton Texans, 7 o'clock Saturday night from Wisdom Gym, the 35th all-time meeting between the two schools. Then, Coach, on Wednesday night, the number 7 ranked and 20-1 Angelo State Rams come to town. That game, regardless of what happens on Saturday, is going to be a big game in the conference standings and national.
Well, we know how good Angelo is, and it would be nice tomorrow night we need to win the game, and it makes that game a little bit bigger game. And we know Angelo has a great team. We were beaten at their place, our first conference game of the year. We feel like we're better now, and so as soon as this game gets over, we'll focus our attention to that. I think people in this community are going to see maybe one of the best, hopefully one of the most important games that they've seen in quite a while, because you're going to have two teams probably ranked in the top 10 in the nation. And I don't know if we've ever had, I guess we have. When Northeastern was ranked number 1, we were number 2 in the nation years ago. But you're going to see a game of that caliber here next week. And, we're going to just have to have a full house, because it could be a game that, propels one or the other to new heights.
It's the Angelo State Rams and the Tarleton Texans Wednesday night at 7:30 from Wisdom Gym. We'll take our final break. When we return, Coach and I will wrap up this edition of the show when the Tarleton Sports Network continues right after this. We want to say thanks to our entire live audience, a huge crowd here at Bruner Motors. We're here every week from noon to 12:30, every Friday at noon here. And as always, we're going to bring out the dice, Coach. One rule with the dice.
Can't skid it.
You cannot skid it. You have to roll it.
Gotta roll.
We're going to give away either a Tarleton t-shirt, a Tarleton hat, an oil change or car wash courtesy of Bruner Motors. You can also roll to get in the grand prize. If you get grand prize, you're going to come back for a grand prize roll-off, where we will give away a travel package to the Lone Star Conference basketball tournament in Allen from March 4th through the 7th. The first one to roll the dice today, Gary Key. Where did Gary go? Gary, you're rolling the dice. Give him a hand. Right, come on down, Gary.
You're a dice roller.
Gary, at probably every game,
Gary's there a lot. He's at all the games.
Oh, here we go. Gary's going to roll the dice.
Give him some good.
Bounces off Kelton Weems, and he gets a car wash.
Car wash,
Congratulations.
all right.
There you go, Gary. Hey, I need to get a car wash. My car's in bad shape right now. Ann Albright. Ann, come on down. Ann, come on down, Ann. She's got her purple on. She's going to roll it with a cast in one hand, folks.
She bleeds purple, let me tell you.
No doubt about it. Ann will roll the dice.
Purple.
Oh, oil change. Hey.
Change.
My goodness. Those are not cheap these days, by the way.
No.
Oil change.
No.
And Travis Livingston. Travis, come on down.
All right, Travis.
Travis, come on down and roll the dice. We've given away an oil change. We've given away a car
I
wash.
promise you, Travis has seen a lot of basketball games in his day.
I'd like to roll for that Corvette right there. Here we go, Travis. There we go.
Oh! What do we get?
Oh! He almost got the grand prize, so
He did.
Travis gets a hat. Congratulations to Travis, Ann, and Gary, our entire live audience. Thanks for being here. The Tarleton Texans, 12-7 overall, 5-5, tied for 5th in the conference. They will return to action Saturday night at 5 o'clock against the Lady Aggies from Wisdom Gym. The pregame show at 4:45. Make sure you pack Wisdom Gym on Saturday night. The Coach Misty Wilson radio show every Thursday at noon from the lobby of First Financial Bank in Stephenville. There's a Texan Club luncheon on Tuesday at noon from the Barry B. Thompson Ballrooms. Coach, if you want to RSVP, call Kathy at 968-9178. You can still RSVP, 968-9178. We're going to have our baseball, softball.
Our softball and baseball coaches will be on to speak on next Tuesday at the Texas Club Luncheon, and we hope everybody turns out. Brian and Julie are off to good starts this year. Julie won her first 2 games. Brian's at Minute Maid Park down in Houston right now. They won 15-2 yesterday against Winona State, and so if you have a chance to come out to the Texas Club Luncheon next Tuesday, we'd love to have you out.
The Texans playing 2 games today at Texas A&M Commerce against Southern Nazarene. Right now, Tarleton trailing 7-4 in the top of the 6th, and then they'll play at 2:30 this afternoon against a former Lone Star Conference rival, Northeastern State, in the Texas A&M Commerce Lion Classic. And then Coach Congress squad, 3 more games in Houston at Minute Maid Park. Coach told you they won yesterday. They return to action today at 2 o'clock against St. Mary's. For complete results and updates on all Tarleton athletic programs, visit tarletonsports.com.
And if you have a chance tomorrow, our tennis team plays UTPB. I think it's at 10 o'clock in the morning at Tarleton at the tennis courts. And I know Lance would love to have you come out. It's supposed to be a beautiful day tomorrow, so if you have a chance to get out in the morning. Women's tennis program plays UTPB tomorrow morning, and I know he'd appreciate you coming out.
No doubt about it. Next broadcast of Tarleton basketball Saturday night at 7 o'clock from Wisdom Gym against the Aggies of Cameron University. The pregame show at 6:45. We'll have the Coach Chris Reisman pregame interview, starting lineups, and keys to the game. You can listen here on 90.5 FM KTRL or around the world at tarletonsports.com/listen live. The Junior Texan Club, so we're going to leave your team out on the field. Junior Texan Club. On the court, I should say.
They all like to come down and get to be a part of the program, and and we've done a great job. Nathan developed a lot of that Junior Texan Club, and the kids come down and they really get a chance to feel like they're a part of the program, and so we're looking forward to the Junior Texan Club coming down.
They will lead the team out on the court, so if you have a Junior Texan Club member, make sure they're down there on Saturday to lead the team on the court. Again, the Lone Star Conference Basketball Championship from the Allen Event Center in Allen, Texas, March 4th through the 7th. Buy your tickets at Wisdom Gym. You can buy them over the phone calling 254-968-1832. It looks like the softball team is
7-6 right now.
They scored a couple runs.
They're still in the ball game.
Technology's great. I want to thank the Pizza Place in Stephenville for providing the food. A big thanks to Damian Clemens, our guest earlier in the show. Kudos to our producer, Aaron Young, back at the studio, our on-site engineer, the one and the only Jody Lee Cottle over here to my left. I want to thank the Bruner Auto family for sponsoring the show. Last but not least, thanks to each and every one of you for listening and for your support of Tarleton Athletics. Coach, if you beat Cameron on Saturday, you talked about a possible top 10 matchup between 2 teams on Wednesday night, but how much are you going to talk to the guys before tomorrow about focusing on the task at hand? Because I imagine that'll be on the bulletin board.
Yeah, it's, Coach Chris has already got some things that I getting ready for this game. We feel like this is a trap game. So again, this is the new style of coaching. He went out and got a bunch of rat traps, and they were going to hang them from the ceiling.
Oh, the Bill Parcells.
Yeah, in the locker room. So when the players come in today, there's going to be traps hanging from the ceiling, so they can visualize that this is a trap game. I just asked them, please don't actually
touch the trap.
Don't touch the traps, okay? So we're going to put mouse and rat traps all over today, so they understand this is a trap game. Don't let this game get away from you. So
I'd have to put one at your office. I might put one on your desk just in case you.
In my day, we didn't do that, but like I said, these guys they have different ways of motivation. So we're going to
How's
do
your
it.
Twitter feed going these days?
I don't have a Twitter.
Oh, you don't? Okay, well,
But Nathan said something that we've had, what?
5,000 followers now?
5,000.
The most followers in the conference?
5,000
Twitter followers.
Twitter followers
Twitter
right
is
now.
the name of it.
Twitter,
Oh.
okay.
Coach, thanks for your time. Best of luck against Cameron.
Thank you, Casey.
That's going to do it for the 5th edition of the Coach Lonn Reisman Radio Show. For the 27th year head coach of the Texans, I'm Casey Hogan saying so long from Bruner Motors in Stephenville. Until next time, enjoy your Friday, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night from Wisdom Gym.